Hello everyone and welcome to another TCC video. Today I'm going to be opening up a $2,000 box of old Pokemon poker cards. Wow, it's kind of a tongue twister to say that. I almost tripped on that. So check it out. We got Charizard on the right and Venusaur on the left. The back of the decks show Charizard and Venusaur. So technically there's also a Pikachu and a Blastoise, and when you think about it, if you wanted to have an absolutely complete collection, you'd need to collect every Pokemon from every of these backings, right? Because there's different artworks on the backings. So there's quite a lot of sort of like variety. It's kind of like variety. What's interesting about these decks, not every deck comes with the Charizard, but Charizard is the card that you want. Okay, so interestingly, these also look resealed. What you'll notice is some back-sided, double-sided tape. Maybe that's the right word. Yeah. So I had some of these arrive earlier, and they did look like they had been resealed. And then these arrived. So this is the second box of these poker cards that have arrived. And these also look resealed. However, I was doing some research online, and I noticed in another YouTube video that somebody else had packs just like this. So maybe that was how they packed them. Maybe in the past. So this was in 1989. That's that's a bit of no, not even 1989. I'm sorry, it was 1996. I was just opening up Nintendo game packs, and those were from 1989. So these are from 1996, and maybe back then, wherever they were producing these, maybe you just kind of applied a label to it. I don't know. Maybe it was done by hand, not by a machine. You would expect it to be done by a machine. But I'm going to go ahead and open these. I'm going to take a risk on it. If we find a Charizard, we'll know immediately that that is just how they were packed, because, it would mean that if somebody was resealing these, it wasn't because he was trying to take a Charizard out, which is what you would assume you would be trying to do with the reseal. So let's see, how do these open? Yeah, the Charizard's actually quite valuable, but he's not in every deck. There we go. So that lifts up, and we're going to go ahead and pop this out. Video won't be too long because I'm not going to sleeve every one of these up. I'm just going to show it off. There's Mewtwo, Pidgey, Nidoking, Tentacruel, Cloyster, Gengar. Gengar is really good. Here, let's set our favorite ones off to the side. How about that? So I like Mewtwo. I like Gengar. Nidoking's pretty cool. Abra. There's Red. Charmander. Yeah, Charmander's pretty neat. Set Charmander down. Moltres. He's pretty neat. He's a legendary. Wigglytuff, Machamp, Marowak, Golduck, Aerodactyl, Vulpix, Ninetales, Bulbasaur is pretty neat. So I'm guessing this is a deck with no Charizard in it, because I think the Charizard would have popped out early if he was in the deck. I think he's in slot number 4. Is that right? Here's Articuno, Rhyhorn, Slowbro, Clefairy, Pinsir. All right, so no Charizard in that deck. No Charizard. That doesn't mean it was resealed. That is what we're trying to find out. Could just mean that it was a deck with no Charizard. All right, I'm going to sleeve up these nicer ones. The Bulbasaur is really nice. We got these birds going on. There's Zapdos. Here's Squirtle. So we got the 3 starters. We got the 3 legendary birds. We got a Gengar. Gengar, I don't know if he, I don't know who takes the spot of the Charizard, but it's an interesting thing. I've only opened a few of these. And they're all for Pokemon Silver. And the Pokemon Silver sets seem to be static. You just get the same cards every time. Here's Gengar. And here's Mewtwo. So out of all these, the Gengar is definitely my favorite. I'm a huge Gengar fan. And if this was to grade 10, I don't know what he'd be worth. However, what I do know, he looks a bit off-center down here actually. What I do know is that it is very, very expensive to obtain one of these decks and to have them be sealed. So again, we're assuming this is sealed still. Let's try the next deck. What I like about these stickers when I examine the stickers is the edges look very clean, as if nobody's ever tried to peel them. So this actually is why I'm doing this experiment, because it seems that maybe this little bit of tape that sticks out from underneath, you see that? See the tape? It's sticky too. Maybe that was just how they were sealed, with a piece of tape. So weird. You'd think they would just have an adhesive label, like an adhesive sticker, but they're like, no, get some tape out. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. Or maybe that's how the sticker was manufactured. Maybe the sticker actually has tape on it. Who knows? Yeah, this was a while ago. 1996. That was a long time ago. This is deck number 2. Let's see. Come on, Charizard. Mewtwo, Pidgeot, Nidorino. No Charizard. There's Alakazam. Oh! Now, wait a second. There he is. So Charizard was in that deck. I thought Charizard would show up earlier in the deck. See, I thought if he doesn't show up in the earlier slot, he's not in there. There's Venusaur. So this basically should get my money back, grabbing that Charizard. It's supposed to, but I think we also need to grade it as well. Oh, nice. That's the Charizard with the Charizard artwork on the back as well. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if it matters that much, honestly. When it comes to Pokemon cards, I really don't look too much at the back of the card, you know, because they're all the same. But having the Charizard from the Charizard deck, that's kind of neat. Actually, I think it'd probably be more rare to get a Charizard from like a Pikachu deck or a Blastoise deck. Okay, so the front of the card is always pretty good with these poker cards. How about the back? My impression of the back right away is that it's thinner on this side than this side. And I suspect that will cause it to grade 9 or 9.5 rather than 10. And with PSA, maybe it would still be a 10. But I don't know if PSA grades these. So we need to find out if PSA grades these. But that Charizard is certainly pretty expensive. And all of the cards in the deck have some value. So with that being discovered, that the stickers themselves appear to just be sort of like double-sided tape stickers, which is really bizarre. The other deck that I thought was resealed may actually be a legit sealed product, in which case we need to go check it out. Put these in some card graders. And we can pick through and take all the cards out that we like. I'm thinking of grabbing the other deck first. So we got Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur here. 1996, huh? Real old. They look fantastic. You know, I wonder how much it would cost to manufacture grading slabs that precisely fit these poker cards. I wonder if I could do that. But, you know, if I graded my own cards, that would be a little fishy, wouldn't it? I think that the Charizard has a shot at a 10 with PSA because, you know, the front of the card actually looks quite nice. It's not holographic, so it can't fail in that regard. And the edges and corners are pretty clean. So it's just one aspect that could cause it to fail, and it's this off-centering. But PSA, as you guys know, they allow quite a lot of off-centering on the back of a card. So a card can be really off-center on the back, and as long as the front of the card is good, it can still pass for a 10. So I would not be surprised if that card was still valued as a 10 by PSA. By Beckett, though, maybe Beckett would give it a 9.5. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we're trying to figure out. Beckett might give it a 9.5 or even a 9, I suppose. Okay, so these are the two decks. What I will be wanting to do with these, I will be wanting to sleeve every single card up in the deck. And then I'll want to put every single card into a card grader in order to get a completely graded deck, which will cost an enormous amount of money. But for now, we can focus on sleeving up the best cards in the deck. So those are my two favorite right here. Gengar and Charizard, those are my two favorite. You got the legendary birds in the other set, huh? And both sets seem to have had Mewtwo. Makes you wonder which is, you know, if every set comes with the Mewtwo, is it rare? Both sets did not come with Gengar. So Gengar was in only the set with no Charizard, and the Charizard was in the set with no Gengar. So that is a very interesting thing. It makes both these two cards pretty valuable if you think about it. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's only two variations of decks on the other hand. Yeah, maybe it's not particularly super valuable. Maybe there's just two decks. So what this means, I'm gonna go grab the other box. Give me a minute. This is the box I was trying to return. The seller's gonna be very happy to hear. See, I was planning on doing this. I knew I had more than one deck on the way. And I was just planning on waiting for the second one to arrive and seeing what the labels looked like on that, because I considered maybe that was just how they were packed back then. So here's the other box, and I was complaining. Sorry, getting comfortable there. I was complaining because these two boxes, these two decks, look resealed. Let me show you why I thought they looked resealed. Take a close look. So there's that tape again. A double-sided tape, that's used for resealing stuff. And this edge looks like it's been tampered with. And this isn't even stuck to the plastic there. Yeah, you can hear it actually. It sticks off of it. And then this one looked fishy too. Look, it's like totally off center. It looks like a bad reseal job. That's what it looks like. So, having just worked the other decks, these two also looked like they had double stick tape on them. Maybe that's just how the decks are put together. So I'm going to go ahead and open these, and I will end the return for the other. I will end the return for the other seller, which he's going to be very happy about. Yeah, that doesn't feel very well attached. That does bother me a lot. And just look at that. That just doesn't look right. You know what I mean? And see how this actually fell apart right away. That does concern me. I don't know. Well, if there's a Charizard in here, this looks like a Charizard set. So it's number 4. It is a Charizard set. So in fact, it is not resealed. That's crazy. It just looks resealed. And if you end up getting any of these poker cards, this one's better centered too. This will help you understand that your deck is not resealed. It just looks resealed. It looks like a crappy reseal job. I've gotten a lot of cards over time. I mean, I think $2 million of cards have passed through my hands, and I've seen a lot of product, and they never look so fishy. But that's just how it is. It's a learning moment for sure. So there's Charizard. What other set? Oh, Cubone's in this set. He's so cute. I actually am a huge Cubone fan. He is slowly... I always knew Cubone was popular, but it's like over time, I have sort of seen all these other Pokemon and realized more and more how much I like Cubone. Kabutops, always been a fan of Kabutops. If you didn't know that about me, I'm a Kabutops fan. So we pull another Charizard, and I'm going to guess that this other sealed deck is the Gengar deck then. It's likely a Gengar deck. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the return for the other seller. He's going to be very happy about that. Because up to this point, he thinks that he sold me resealed product and that now he's going to have to accept a return and yada, yada, yada. So that's no fun to learn as a seller. But apparently, when Nintendo sealed these, they just sealed them kind of shoddily. All right, let's see. Yeah, be careful out there with resealed product, guys, because you'll get burned by it. Especially people like to reseal the old vintage stuff, I think. And that's why for a long time, when it came to vintage products on this channel, what we did was we actually cut open the vintage packs to ensure that they could never be used for something like that. However, I guess recently we've kind of stopped doing that because even the sealed packages have some collectible value. And it's hard to say no to selling something like a vintage booster pack, you know what I mean? Maybe there's another way to mark them so they can't be reused for resealing. I actually had a guy who tried to sell me a slightly open Gym Heroes pack. That was really disappointing. So this will be the Gengar pack then, right? Oh, this does look different, doesn't it? Golbat, Muck, Ghastly, Kadabra, Charmander, Charmeleon's in this deck. So, there's Psyduck too. So maybe there's 3 variations. Oh, nice. Magneton is one of my favorite all-time Pokemon as well. Venonat. So this, there's Gyarados. Okay, so Gyarados wasn't in the one with the bird trio. Rhyhorn, Amistar. So I'm going to guess this third variation, so this is the third variation we've seen, is probably the least profitable variation. It really did not contain Gengar in it, nor did it contain the 3 legendary birds. We are picking up my dear Magneton, so I'm happy I got it. And there we go. And Gyarados is kind of nice, but he's not really on the same caliber as Gengar in my opinion. So that was the weakest version of the deck, and if you were to open one of these sealed, you would hope not to run into that, because you will probably not have as good of a chance to make the value back on what you spent. Okay, but here is Gyarados. And here is Magneton. Wow, that looks so cool. Such a cool Pokemon. Oh, man, I just don't have the same nostalgia for Magnezone, but I have to say, Magnezone, at least he looks okay. He looks like he could be a natural result of Magneton, you know what I mean? I like the kind of like UFO theme. It's kind of a clever theme. Okay, so what do we get out of here? primarily out of the 2,000, I spent $2,000 per box. We got 2 Charizards, which is extremely good, because since we now know that there's 3 variations of decks, what that means is you can buy a box of these for like $2,000 and end up with deck variation 2 and 3, which does not include the Charizard. So we are lucky, actually, to pull the Charizard both times. And yeah, so I'm happy with that. I have a whole bunch of cards here now. There's a few things I could do with that. I could put them all into penny sleeves and prep them all for grading. I could sell them as cold cards if you're looking to maybe buy them knowing you have no chance for the Charizard or the Gengar. I could, sleeve them up, and I don't know what the price on them would be, but it would have to be a price that's calculated based on the missing cards, the missing value of these cards. So that's a possibility. I don't know if I'll go that route. I could still see people wanting it if the price was right. Like what if I said these are $1 each? Yeah, you'd probably buy a few. Heck, they'd probably sell out in one night. However, since I do like to grade everything, and because these are genuine vintage cards, in this case, I think my decision is that I will keep 100% of them, and all of them will get graded. I will not be offering any of these for sale. I think the right thing to do with these decks will be to grade 100% of them. And maybe one of these Charizards will come back 10, and I'll keep them in my Charizard collection, and the other one will sell off in order to try and make back some of the cost of all the grading and the cost of all the just obtaining these decks. Did you guys enjoy that? Do you want to see more interesting content like that? So you've seen a lot of the poker cards now. You've seen a lot of the Pokemon Silver cards. You've seen the Pokemon Gen 1 cards, green and red, I suppose. I think I have a Blastoise deck on the way, and I think I have a Pikachu deck on the way. But those might remain sealed because those variations are like pretty rare, it seems. So I don't know what to do with those. I might just hold on to them sealed. And oh yeah, these actual boxes themselves will be for sale as well. So these little empty boxes, if you have a sealed collection, I'm sorry, if you have a box collection where you just display the boxes, I don't even know what these are worth, but they're pretty old, and they're going to be pretty iconic if these poker cards become more common to collect, right? People are going to be like, oh, that's the poker box, right? So that's an interesting thing. Anyways, a 17-minute long video is too long of a video. I got to go tell this guy to relax and that we don't need to open up a return. I'll see you guys tonight.